Let us look at excretion and osmoregulation in platyhelminthes. Excretion and osmoregulation. What is the meaning of osmoregulation? Osmoregulation is the maintenance of water balance inside the body. It is especially necessary in aquatic freshwater forms. Okay, since a lot of water may enter inside, it has to be continuously kept outside. A lot of water will enter inside because there is salt concentration inside the body and not outside in the water. There is a tendency of water to enter inside the cells, okay, which needs to be excreted out continuously to maintain the water balance, so that otherwise the cells will keep on expanding and will eventually burst. So maintaining the water balance of the body is called osmoregulation, especially necessary in freshwater beings like planaria. They have developed primitive organs for excretion and osmoregulation which were not present in the previous phyla. They relied on diffusion only, but these guys have developed primitive organs. The primitive organs that they have developed are called as protonephridia. Excretory organs developed called protonephridia, also called as flame cells. Very important. Okay, flame cells, very important word for NEET. Why are these cells called as flame cells? So if you look over here, this is the flame cell, and why it is called as a flame cell is because it has a tuft of such kind of cilia which keep on beating, and the way they beat with a kind of a pointed end which keep on flickering like this. Okay, they basically want to move the fluid which will look like a flickering flame. That's why they are called as flame cells. This is the nucleus and this is the tuft of the beating cilia. Tuft of beating cilia which help in the excretion process. Many such kind of flame cells, there will be one here, there will be one here, which will join such kind of excretory tubules which will then eliminate the waste outside through the excretory pores. A kind of a miniature system kind of they have developed for excretion process. This is their flame cell. Tuft of beating cilia appear like flickering flame. That's why they are called as flame cells. Also called as protonephridia. Proto means primitive, primitive nephridia. Why are they called primitive nephridia? Because in the next phyla, like phylum Annelida, there will be nephridia. So that's why these are primitive nephridia. Next we look at reproduction. Both asexual and sexual reproduction is present. Asexual reproduction, they show a high tendency for regeneration. Example, planaria is very popular for regeneration process. Next, sexual reproduction. When it comes to sexual reproduction, the sexes are not separate, they are hermaphrodites. You have to know these things for each of the phylum, which phylum has hermaphrodite organisms, which phylum has sexes separate, you will need to know. Fertilization can be self-fertilization or cross-fertilization, and it is internal fertilization, and the development is direct in case of planaria, that means there is no larva, but in case of the parasitic forms like tinea and liver fluke, many larval forms are present in between. Indirect in tinea, fasciola, multiple larval stages are present. Multiple larval stages present, not just one. Let me tell you something about the tinea. In tinea, each of those sections, which are called as the proglottids, each of those proglottids bear both the sex organs of the male and the female. They bear the testes of the male sex organs, and the ovaries also, the female sex organs. They will produce both types of gametes, male and female. There will be a uterus to carry the fertilized eggs as well, which will be then gently removed off from the body, and they will be eliminated through the feces, and then they will infect the other host through contaminated water or so. Let's talk about the nervous system. Do they have a nervous system? Phylum Cnidaria and phylum Ctenophora had nerve nets. Remember nerve nets? Phylum Platyhelminthes have slightly more evolved nervous system than Cnidarians and Ctenophores. They have something called a nerve ladder and a primitively formed brain types also with two ganglia, okay, in the head kind of region. They are the first phylum of all these to form a head-like structure at the anterior-most end of the body with concentrated sense organs, okay, at that point. So they will have two small cerebral ganglia at the most anterior-most end, and two nerve cords they will have, and nerves connecting the two nerve cords throughout, so it will look like a ladder-like arrangement throughout the length of their body. Nervous system. So they are known to have a nerve ladder. If this is planaria, so they will have two ganglia here, two nerve cords, and transverse nerves connecting the two nerve cords throughout the length of the organism. These are called as the cerebral ganglia. These are the nerve cords and these are the transverse nerves, and overall you see that it looks like a ladder-like arrangement. Sense organs like eye spots, which are called ocelli, are developed. One point about sense organs, you must remember that they are present only in free living forms. They are absent in parasites, because why do they need sense organs inside the body? It will be very dark. They don't need eyes when they are living inside the gut, They don't need to see because it will be very dark. So these will be present only in the free living forms like veneria, sense organs. Then other sense organs like auricles, which are chemoreceptors, tactile receptors for touch, are also present. This is the first phylum to show cephalization. Cephalization means what? Formation of head with concentration of the sense organs in that area. Does our head have the sense organs concentrated at one point? Yes, right? Many sense organs concentrated at one point. That is the specialty of the head.
महादेव के नाम पे सब्सक्राइब कर दें